YouTube, welcome back. Spotify, wherever you listen to this podcast, here we are back. Thanks for the lurk, also, Nifty. But welcome back for another episode, season 3, episode 2. We have a guest, Wakapedia, and Faye's back as co-host again. So welcome, both of you guys.
Hello.
Alright. I feel like I got the sound situation settled this time. Last time it was like, stream together was all over the place. So now I have the browser source playing for me in my ears and for stream, so they can hear only once. My browser's muted and the mic is on there, so you guys can hear me through the stream together. So we're good there. Alright, so we always start the podcast with make sure I got my agenda up on my screen so I can see it. We start with kind of like an update that we want to do first off introductions, because Wakapedia, if this is your first time, or Waka, we'll go by Waka. So kind of give us who is Wakapedia? What do you do? What do you stream? What is your content? Give us the lowdown.
Yeah, hi, I'm of course Wakapedia. I do a lot of music stuff. I am a music producer. I have multiple albums released, just released one in early January. But along with that, I'm actually work for a game studio here in Austin, Texas, where I'm a player experience supervisor for going on 5+ years now.
Oh, really? Well, wait, what's a player experience? Are you just managing the player experience?
Yeah, kind of. It's I'd have to go into way more detail than that because it's a multifaceted job. So yeah, it's pretty in depth.
I know the Cliff Notes version though.
Okay, well, yeah. Cliff Notes. Go ahead, go.
Waka is the go between the corporate talking people and the player what they want people's.
That is definitely a big part of it.
Kind of merges them together to somewhat.
Out of curiosity, how did you guys meet? I'm just curious.
Twitch mostly.
Twitch, yeah.
Oh, so Twitch. Oh, okay, makes sense. All right, cool. So if you ever find. Just do a quick shout out for everyone that's watching. Checking the video. Wait, hold on.
That's where I met you too, Ty.
That's true. Twitch also. So just check out. This is Waka. Quick clip. Watch.
Can't go full sex.
Oh, music saxophone. What's this clip?
It's completely distorted and break it. You can't go all the way.
Oh, I think this is just the music.
That is the music. Nice. So there you go. So if you go to follow Wakapedia, so definitely there. And also, I know this came up before because I know me and Faye talked about this, but I'm just curious though, what's the origin of Wakapedia, the name? If you care to enlighten us real quick.
Ooh. I should have prepared that one. No, it's okay. I mean, long story short, watching a bunch of animes way back in the day, of course, high school, college. You start to pick up on words that are happening quite frequently. And one of those ended up being, of course, I guess you'll say the root form of Wakaru, or Wakarimasu, a lot of things like that. And I was like, that sounds really cool. Kind of sounds like Fozzie Bear, because someone was saying it quite a lot, actually.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up, and I'm like, okay, that means to understand, basically. So, I felt like that was basically kind of a Fozzie Bear Wikipedia at the time.
Ah, okay. I see that.
Sorry to disappoint. It has nothing to do with Pac-Man in the slightest.
Yeah, that's why I'm like the icon. Yeah.
I also thought it was the Pac-Man waka sound.
That 100%. It morphed into that very quickly after literally hours after I did that.
Makes sense.
So yeah.
And of course we haven't watched Almost Famous because I always thought that was why Faye name came from, but it's totally not that entirely at all. So yes. All right, cool. All right, so what update have you been up to since the last podcast? What's been going on?
What has... Dude, I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, and you want me to figure out what's been going on for the past month? I need to start keeping a notepad of just...
A notepad for just for this question. This is always going to come up every month now.
Yeah. Twice in a row, you caught me off guard with it. I need to start writing shit down. Not a whole lot. I've watched some anime. I've watched some movies. I'm a little bit of a hermit this month, so like,
Same.
I'm not going anywhere. Don't talk to me. I've been knitting and gaming and watching shows.
Oh, there you go. Any particular show that struck your fancy at the moment? I'm curious.
Ooh. Been rewatching Criminal Minds.
Okay.
Because old TV is best TV.
Okay.
That's one I have not seen.
Oh my god, let me just pull up my Crunchyroll and just see like
Oh,
the plethora of fucking.
Okay.
Well, okay, so like I borrow one of my friends' Netflix, and I stumbled across an anime on Netflix. And then once one of my friends caught wind that I was watching anime again, just the deluge of watch this from like all of them has started coming in.
Oh, wow.
And it's gotten to the point where I've watched so many trying to just catch up with my friends so that we have things to like overlap and talk about. I no longer remember what any of the names are.
Oh, damn. Oh, we know Faye's memory is very like, you gotta remind her of things, and she tends to like, you know. It's not any fault of Faye, I'm just saying.
Like that, damn.
It's not as Faye, just, you know, you gotta just kind of like, oh yeah, about this and this, and you're like, how many times it took me to remind you about the Yomasu or the egg thing? It took you, you actually did it though?
Nice, and I did it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, exactly. Alright, cool. Let's see, so update me, I'm still unemployed, but I had a couple of interviews, I didn't pass the first interview. It's like, it's one of those things we can even like go into like a whole diatribe, like there's so many people have been laid off in many industries and they're just trying to find work. So if you ever know someone's laid off, just like say, don't just give them like, you know, encouragement, like you got this, say, hey, I mean, an opportunity or something, and pass the information along. So it's always appreciated. But I did have an interview, a recruiter, I think it was yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday, Monday, so 2 days ago. But she's like, yeah, pretty good. And she wanted to make sure I wasn't asking for like way higher than they were gonna give. It was like, no, I just want to earn like exactly what I had before. I have no problem with that. But I have an interview with them next week for the manager. So second interview. So progress again. But yep. So but then also my old manager from my old job recommended me to an HIE based out of New York. So, but they say we have contract work for you, so we can do some of that, but then eventually might lead to a full-time, so I'm pursuing that also, me with them possibly next week too. But they know me because I worked with them for at least a good 4 years of my life, so they should know me and my capabilities. So that is going on. Tax season, so I got a good refund, so I'm kind of like not spending, you know, all of this, maybe you guys can also comment, every time I get the tax money, it's like, what do I spend this on? And then you realize there's so many other bills you have to pay too, so you can't spend all of it. But
yeah.
I think I owed $5 this year.
Oh dang. Yeah. But yeah, I did go for the Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses. So just it's not right now because I have waiting for prescription lenses. But it has like the lens on the one side where it can do like live record video, take a picture. You have like a kind of like a Hey Meta like computer version you can talk to, and also they have the thing where you can say, Hey Meta, what I'm looking at, and like it uses AI. It's still in beta, so it's not out yet, but at least the AI takes a look at what's in front of you and says, maybe you're looking at live streaming equipment and the camera, and because whatever is like in front of your face, or you can look at a plant and identify a plant based on what it looks like if you don't know what it looks like. So it's way out the future, but yeah, I'm waiting for prescription glasses or the lenses to come in before I start wearing them, because right now they're literally sunglasses and I put them on, I'm blind. I'll just show people in land, so they look like these, but they have the lenses like right on the two sides of it, so it's nothing like too comfortable. It just looks like regular sunglasses right now, but yeah. So I have them and that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much my tax purchase myself, including a suit blazer, but you know, I needed a blazer. But yeah, the camera moved again. Camera moved back. Okay, there. The video broadcast like losing me all around. But all right, so it's pretty good. My mom downsized, which is another thing that's happened. So she moved closer to my sister. so down the road. But then, of course, you realize when you move out, right, and your parents decide to move out too, then you're like, there's so much stuff there, I need to get out now, because you don't bring all that stuff with you when you move initially. And now I have more stuff I have to bring over. So slowly getting all that out there, and I have to organize it and put it away. But man, when, when she's downsizing, and the funny part, downsizing, it's a one level, like, I guess rancher house, but the one issue that she's brought up, and I think she's gotten used to it now, is the fact that the rooms are on spillos, so like it's either a step up or a step down. And then she told me, like, for the first like week of it, I fell like about 6 times because like I don't remember there's a step down into the bedroom or a step up into the living room, because now she's getting more used to it. Yeah, but the funny part is though, she used to nag me for everything because she lives about 20 minutes away. Now she's like an hour away and closer to my sister. I don't get any of the nags anymore. Like, nothing's nagging me for anything because I'm far away now. My sister's got the brunt of it now, so I told her, sister, it's your turn now to help mom and anything she needs, or take her shopping, because she's like down the road from you now. But yeah, so that's pretty much the update there. Alright, so we're going to our first topic, and of course we have to talk about this because it is February 28th and tomorrow is February 29th. It is a leap year. So, I don't know if you guys what are you guys' opinions on leap years? Like, do you just have anything happen on leap years, or just another day?
Kind of another day for me. I mean,
Yep.
scientifically necessary the way we, control the calendar here in the world.
Does that make sense? Hey, anything? No, not really?
Yeah,
She's like,
I
she's
had
shaking her head.
friends who thought there was like good luck, or like some sort of like romantic good luck around leap years, but I've never subscribed to that personally. My romantic-y good luck day is like the whole New Year's day, like the what you're doing at midnight thing. Not, so I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, I looked up a couple of things. So like the one thing that kind of stuck out in my head. Well, let's start with like, let's see if we can pull this up here. The things that would happen. What would happen without a leap day? So like even if we didn't have a leap, so Waka is correct. Like scientifically, the whole like rotation around the Earth is 365 plus about 6 hours. So if we didn't have this day, that 6 hours would start building up, and then things would start moving, like season-wise, even more out of sync. So that's why that occurs. But do you guys know? Is there a reason? Because I was talking in the winter, and I wasn't sure. Is there a reason why we have the election every 4 years coinciding with a leap year? Or is that just random coincidence that it's on every 4 years? Like the election. Like the general, presidential election.
I think that's just coincidence.
Okay. But yeah, so...
Here's why. Because leap years, while every 4 years, yes, there's like an additional thing, because it's a little less than 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I think it's like every 50 or every 100, some big round number like that, we skip a leap year.
Oh, we skip a leap year? Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha. Alright.
And I think leap years might, now I'm curious, when did leap years start?
I think it's during Julius Caesar time. So like, that's where my research came on to. It's like during Julius Caesar, Roman Emperor, it's like he said they counted a year at 365.25 days. So they added one day so that it wouldn't necessarily drift that far. Is that confirmed? You look it up on your Google. Alright,
I definitely think he had a part in it. I don't think it was an official thing in there, because like Julius Caesar was the calendar maker. Like that was his position, that was his job. And that's actually how he ended up winning some war, because like he was gone for months and months doing this war, so the calendar had gotten out of date because they adjusted the calendar like on the fly, and that would have been his job, but he was doing the war thing, and so the calendar hadn't been updated, so the people that he was fighting against didn't realize the actual month they were in and thought that it was like earlier. They thought they were still in like early winter, because it was very cold where they were anyway. They thought they were in early winter, not late winter. But Julius Caesar knew that they were in late winter because he knew that he had been not putting days in, and so the waters were more icy than the other people thought. So they were able to basically their boats all got stuck and they died.
Makes sense.
And it's but I also know that before he was able to do anything officially, they kind of so I don't think it's stuck.
Okay, so it wasn't okay.
But he probably did implement it because the dude was smart and he wrote everything down. So
True.
Somebody somewhere probably was like, oh, this smart guy, he had a point.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. But I guess this coincidence sometimes some things that happen on a leap year, looking through some of the research that the first warrants were issued for arrest of 3 women in the Salem witch trials, which is on February 29th, 1692. I mean, I guess random stuff do occur on those days, but the one thing that kind of stuck in my head, and the people who get married on the leap year, do you think that's good luck, or because it's when they occur only maybe every 4 days that single day? Do you celebrate that at all every year, or wait every 4 years? I don't know what you guys' thoughts on that.
So I don't know about weddings, but I know about birthdays.
Okay.
So if your birthday falls on February 29th and you were born on the leap year like that, they usually celebrate their birthday either the day before or the day after, but then they'll do a big birthday whenever it's a leap year, because they finally get to have it on the actual day. So they'll have the bigger parties on those days.
Makes sense. Nothing about marriage, because I feel I don't know, would just a tangible question, would you guys even consider having a wedding on that day, even though it won't occur? Because birthday is one thing, but a wedding, would that be something?
I mean, yeah, I don't see any issues with that at all.
There are people who schedule their weddings specifically to be on Halloween, no matter what day of the week it falls on, to be on Friday the 13th, no matter, because they want that day that year. So it wouldn't surprise me if there are people who schedule it specifically on February 29th just so that they can have the unique
a little bit of extra specialness to the day.
Exactly.
It's a little thing to push it over the top.
Makes sense.
Or else maybe it does hold some sort of significance to them in a way.
Possible too. There's the funny thing though, I did run across a TikTok, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's some deals actually for some commercial deals are coming out for the year. Example would be Krispy Kreme is offering, if you buy a dozen donuts, you get another dozen for $2.29, which is one. But I'm I guess some gimmicks for the leap year in play, because I guess since it doesn't occur as often. But yeah, for me probably it's also another day. Doesn't have that much significance either. But I guess a day that's needed so that our seasons don't go out of whack or from the time. So one of those things, chat, that you don't think about until you look it up. And then you're there's a scientific reason for this. And most of the time, some reasons for it. Yeah, go ahead, Walker.
It's almost the same reason we have actually leap seconds as well. So we've added 27 seconds onto the astrological clock. Atomic clock. Since the 1970s. Yeah.
Oh, 27.
Because the Earth is slowing down. Yeah, the Earth is actually slowing down a bit, and they have to keep it up to the second, literally up to the nanosecond. So,
gotcha.
slightly adding time onto the clock.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, so that's occurring. So make sure you guys go. Anyone listening, check out any of those leap year deals, because they'll be occurring tomorrow. So you watch this now or listen tomorrow, and check for those deals out there. Alright, so the AMA question, I feel, let me see, so I'm decided to put myself first. Every time I put Faye, just give me some time to think about this question. So I gave me the first one out of the gate. I think I kind of, I kind of already asked my one to Waka what's on the name, but I was curious now, Waka, getting into music, what was the calling? Because I know this question is kind of about music, but I'm going to segue into that, but how did you get into music creation and such? Is there
going that's kind of going all the way back into the days of when I was being babysat in a sense. We'd always go to one of my friends, my parents' friends' house, and it was really huge house. It was one of those houses that was I think 4 stories back then, and it had like crawl spaces everywhere. It was really weird. I'm probably like misremembering everything because I was like 5 or 6 years old back then, and of course a big house like that is always pretty awesome to be in when we're living in like a 1-bedroom house with 6 of us. And but they had a stand-up piano there, and we would always watch a bunch of movies while we were there. Like that was the simplest way for us to be babysit, was a bunch of movies on the TV, and they were all really old movies. One of the ones I remember, actually I can specifically remember this one, was Chariots of Fire.
Ooh,
and back in, I don't know when that movie was released, but I remember the song from that movie. And when we were watching that, I knew they had a piano there, and I tried to like recreate that on the piano. And I got, I guess, close enough that my parents decided that they wanted to put me into piano classes and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So I took piano lessons somewhere around, I think 9 years old. It was about 6 years of piano, classically trained piano from, I guess we'll get into that sad topic. Steve Malmsted, which was my piano teacher for 6 years, classically trained pianist, unfortunately just passed away this last year. Yeah, it was sad, but yeah, it was he was a really cool dude, and took a lot of inspiration from that guy for all of basically everything. So
nice.
But that's how I basically started to get into learning music, is just because of watching the movie Chariots of Fire and trying to recreate that on the piano. It's a very epic song. And
wait, did you actually create it just by listening to it, or did you actually have to look it up?
Correct. Yeah. And that was one of the big things that my piano teacher had to like express to me all the time. You need to start reading music instead of just playing it by ear. And I hated doing that. I hated reading music. I still hate reading music, to be honest. I just, listen to something and try to, takes me a little bit, but I'll recreate it as close as I can. And
that's a good talent.
It's way funner to me to recreate it than to just regurgitate what I see on a piece of paper.
Makes sense.
And so I like doing it that way. And that's how I got into I guess playing music in a sense.
Did it evolve? So did it evolve when you started creating music? How did that kind of?
Yeah, I mean, that was I was in multiple bands back in high school. Back then, it was guitar. So I didn't ever take guitar lessons. I've actually never taken anything except for piano lessons. But I still have my high school guitar here.
Oh, wow.
It's not in great shape anymore. It was like a $180 Ibanez, which it was awesome, and but played multiple things back then. That kind of got me started on this stuff, but I don't know exactly when some other switches flipped towards like electronic music, which is mostly what I do now. I guess I don't know if I've said that or not, but for the most part, back then I started listening to some very cool where was it? It was I think it was Last FM back then. No, it was di.fm. There was a radio station that would broadcast. It was basically early days of the internet kind of stuff, where you could listen to radio stations from basically anywhere in the world. And
I remember that website.
It was so great. Like you couldn't do that here, of course. Back then it was kind of like that's cool and new and interesting. So I'm like, oh man, this is sick. And so I always listened to like music when I was sleeping. And so I started to put on stuff like vocal trance from like Berlin and stuff like that. And it was just so cool, and I loved it, and it was great. And that kind of started me on that whole journey of that. And ever since then, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start trying to recreate this stuff as much as possible.
Nice.
And that's what I've been doing.
That's cool. Yeah, don't forget to give the man a follow. We haven't seen him. Are you I know you're a platform besides Twitch. Well, I assume you are. You have a core site. I mean, shameless plug real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the Waka.wiki, my website, is the easiest way to get to me. That's kind of just a card website. Has all of my stuff on there, and links to all of my stuff on Spotify, on Bandcamp, on everywhere, SoundCloud.
Nice.
Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff.
How did you stand? Because I feel like you did a lot of music, but then Waka, every time I listen to your voice, it's so like smooth. Like, did you like anyone commented on your voice as a whole? Ever?
I mean, all the time, and every time.
The very first message I ever sent to you on Twitch.
Yes. Yeah.
Was like, holy shit, your voice.
Yeah.
And then it's always like, holy shit, you sound like that in person too.
Oh yeah.
Confirm.
Yeah.
I feel like some people like literally when you're like you hear their voice and then you actually see them. There's like, how does that come out of that person? And I've seen, well, not right now, but it's not Facebook, but you know, I've seen pictures of Waka. I'm like, wow, that's what Waka looks like in real life. I was like, I cannot imagine that voice coming out of someone's, you know, like body like that. It's very smooth. Like I could listen. Cause every time you like, even when you're playing like Twitch games, like just listening to you just like commentate on it. It's just like I just watch this man just commentate on anything, and that'll be very interesting, I imagine. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like talking on Twitch and stuff, like that's someone. Everyone always tells me like, just keep talking. Just don't stop talking. Like it doesn't matter if you're saying stupid stuff at all. Just keep talking, and that's all that matters. Because if someone comes into your chat for 5 seconds and you're just sitting there playing a game, no one's gonna care. You're just playing a game. But if you're continuing to talk constantly, even about really stupid stuff, then that'll grab them sometimes.
True.
But
and just a random side tangent, like how did Twitch start? Like did you decide? Because I know everyone's got like their like reason why they started streaming. Like why did you start streaming too? Good.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually starting Twitch. When did I start? It was 2000. I don't remember, but it was all basically to just get better at talking to people. I am very awkward in person. I am not. I'm somewhat of an introvert, I will say, definitely, and very anxious sometimes. And it was really a way to try and do that.
Nice.
And it seems to be working out.
Nice. So. It's like Faye, the NPC over here. The NPC Faye. Sorry, because Faye always says she's the NPC.
But, I am an NPC. I have a badge and everything.
Yes, you have a badge and everything.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Yeah, let me just... There. I'm the NPC. I'm back at work.
There you go. But, cool. Alright, that's interesting to hear. I definitely did not realize how vast until I started looking into your website. I'm like, wow, you do a lot of creative stuff, so I commend you.
I have. It's kind of. I don't know how to say it besides just I have to. Like it's. I can't not. And doing creative stuff, I think, is extremely awesome for people to do. And
exactly.
Just anything at all. And like listening to someone talk about like what they're passionate about, doing something creative is like one of the coolest fucking things ever.
Exactly. Makes sense.
I'll say this. You can't be Waka's friend and be insecure about anything that you're doing with your life because he's going to make you feel like you should be doing more. Every time I talk to Waka, he's doing some major project, and I'm just like, I'm over here like, I took a nap with my cat. It was a good day.
Oh, there you go. All right, so this kind of segues into the music chat, because I think music is a very important part of everyone's lives. It definitely enhances your mood. Definitely, like you listen to particular music as on the drive, and like the one's kind of segues also about is vinyl coming back? Because I feel like I've seen a lot of people with vinyl records more. Let's start there. Vinyl records coming back. Yeah or nay?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, from my perspective, seeing it's I'm trying to think of an easy way to explain that. Okay. It's not gonna overtake anything at all, not the slightest.
True.
I feel like
go ahead.
yes, asterisk is the answer.
Just asterisk the answer. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, you can definitely see that like it's in the last probably 7 or 8 years, it's gone up thousands of percentage points above what it was for the last 30 years.
It's kind of like a nostalgia thing, or how
it
would
is.
you...
Well, nostalgia. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, from what I've seen, it's more of a collector item rather than like there people who are getting vinyls now aren't getting them the way that we were getting like CDs to listen to and vinyls before that to listen to. Now it's, I love this artist, I love this album, and so I'm getting this collector's edition vinyl that I will have here, but I listen to the music on Spotify.
True. Waka, yes,
it's a sense of ownership now as well. Is something that people want, and we've gone like so far into the digital realm of stuff now, which is, I mean, it's very awesome for accessibility for people to listen to stuff. But a lot of people want to have a physical thing from their favorite artist that is literally analog, that they literally, and you can't recreate that.
The funny thing is, I was at my mom's and I was like, what is in this box? I open it up, it's all my CDs. They've been sitting in the box in this corner, and I have not taken them out because, one, the CD player stopped working, so I have nothing to put them in to listen to. And two, cars now these days don't have CD players anymore. So what is, to put them in your car is also very moot point. Like, but do I care even to go further back? Because like, I went to a record store the other day and I was like, vinyls, CDs, cassettes. Like, have we gotten that far back to cassettes at this point, or are we still kind of like not that far back? Yeah, go ahead.
There is a resurgence happening on cassettes as well.
On cassettes, there is, yes.
Yes. But again, the same thing. It's for collectors, for collecting, not for listening.
Actually, and in certain circles, especially in like synthwave, retrowave circles, it is actually going back into nostalgia at this point. I'm trying to actively find a Sony Walkman, an original. They are expensive as hell right now to get, especially ones that are working.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I have one that I had since I was a kid. It doesn't work anymore. But it's a little Sony Walkman, and I'm just like, why do you not work? Because like literally everyone, I think it's like maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Corrected like Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one we saw Peter Quill with a Walkman on the big screen. I feel like that kind of kickstarted the resurgence into cassettes.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And stuff back then was made with lead in the solder, so it actually lasted a lot longer than stuff now that's built for that, because they're using a lot of lead-free solder now in electronics, so they will break down a lot quicker now.
Oh wow!
But of course, they won't have lead in it.
Oh, there you go. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna page my mom's. Oh, go ahead.
On a completely side note, that like, I don't know if guys this will pertain to you at all, but if there's any girls listening and who had grandmas or great grandmas that were alive when they were like more than single digit age, they might know what I'm talking about. Did y'all's grandparents ever have this like gaudy ass china that they had? Probably it's probably heirloom to them from their grandparents, right? I saw this entire post happening where some lady was lamenting that nobody wanted, none of her grandkids or kids wanted this china, and she's like getting old enough to where she's starting to kind of try to figure out who gets things and will, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like saying like, oh yeah, like millennials and Gen Z, they just don't care about like fine dining stuff. They just don't have etiquette. And someone comes in, they're like, actually, the problem is that a lot of the glazes used back then contained lead, and the younger generations are cognizant of that and don't want to be eating off of lead.
Makes sense.
And that's why they don't want your shitty china.
To I want to age myself. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry.
To age myself, or even age myself even further, because I am pretty old. But what are you guys? What's your stance? Have you remembered the burnt CD? And when you actually burnt a CD that actually had music songs on it. Okay, so you guys done that. I was like wondering about kids these days. I'm like, they probably don't even know what a burnt CD is. Like even like a mixtape. Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult to even find like a PC with a drive
actual CD burner anymore. Yeah.
Like, my PC doesn't have a drive. I need to get an external drive because I have a game that I have been wanting to play that my mod sent me because I was saying I wanted to play it because it's not available on Steam, but the sequel's available on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
What game is this?
It's a disc.
Alice.
Oh.
Yes, it's a disc. And I don't have, because shortly after she sent this to me, the computer that I had that did have a disc drive went and died.
Did they even sell those?
Anything. Huh?
Do they even sell external disc drives anywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
You can get them online.
Oh, yeah.
They're like
$10
to $15 now, too. They're really cheap.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'll just need to actually get one.
Yeah.
I also remember burning DVDs. That's how old I am too. Like actually, like I have 3 cases full of like different stuff I burnt over the years. But you're right. It's like so nostalgic. Like the one CD was reading it, the one CD was writing it, 2 CDs in the tower. Looking at my towers now, I have no removable disk drives in either one of them. Like I think we've come to the age where everything's like digital on a cloud. Like you don't have physical copies. That's probably why vinyl, CDs,
I feel like the closest you get now is making your friend a playlist.
That is
on
true.
Like Spotify.
Oh yeah.
I remember like the show of friendship when I was in high school. The show of how close you were as friends was how many CDs y'all had made for each other.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense.
Whether it be like a custom mixed list of these are all just songs that make me think of you, or I got this album and I know you're gonna love it, so I made you a copy. But like, it didn't matter if you didn't have multiple CDs with your friend's handwriting on it. Y'all weren't real friends.
True that. But yeah, but kind of segued into the vinyl talk and CD talk and cassette talks. But so like, okay, so I usually don't care what music I'm driving, but I usually have people with me and they usually can I listen to this. I guess you guys probably drive and such. Do you guys have a preference of what music you listen to as the driver of the car as you're going somewhere?
No, I mean, I'm not a mega country fan. I guess that's pretty much the only thing I don't listen to. But other than that, no, not really.
Hey, you have any preference music? Are you?
So it depends. I mentioned this earlier, like Faye has obsessions. Faye gets caught on things in a loop for sometimes weeks, sometimes months. So you're subject to just whatever has caught my fancy.
Oh, dang.
And I was going to talk about this as my segment today, but I'm going to just kind of a little bit right now. For the past 2.5, maybe 3 weeks, the only music that has played in my car has been Hotel.
Oh, nice. I still need to watch that.
Yes, you do, because I still need my friends to watch this so that I can go full geek mode, because while I do want to like expound upon a couple things that I love about the show today, I'm not going to do it right now.
I'll wait till you
I have detailed things that I need to talk about.
Oh, dang. Our chat, there's Hasbin Hotel. Go listen to watch it, come to Face Stream, and then you can talk about it with her. Okay. I usually, I don't know, preference-wise, like, sometimes I have a privy to movie soundtracks. I don't know, like, sometimes movie soundtracks are very, very nostalgic, like, you know, listen to, like, a soundtrack from, like a movie and, like, know exactly what movie it was from, like, when it played. My one favorite movie soundtrack also will age me, probably Top Gun. So, but yeah, like, movie soundtracks are my favorite type. I listen to kind of those, like, and then kind of segue into the funny random side note, and I don't know if you guys are before. I think Faye's aware. I don't know if August aware. But when I was going through chemotherapy at one point, they would play Pandora in the booth while you were just kind of like lying there waiting for everything to happen, and I would say, put on movie soundtracks. So they just put on movie soundtracks, just sat there So usually those are interesting songs. But then I think a Legally Blonde soundtrack played where the guy was in there. He's like, "What is this?" and then skipped it. So, but literally it was like movie soundtracks were my comfort usually. I don't know if we're driving though, because everyone in the car is like, "What is this we're listening to?" And they want to switch it. So I live with my best friend and her two kids. And like, the one kid doesn't care. The other kid's like, "Can I play my playlist?" And one year my best friend was like, "I'm playing her stuff, whatever it is." So it is what it is. But
oh yeah, there's definitely a difference in what I play for myself when I'm like by myself, and then what I play when I have other people in the car. Because I try to play music that like I still like it. It's still on playlists that I've made, but like I try to play stuff that's more like acceptable to the general populace. Like I don't play my weird music.
This one kid plays all of her weird music. She's like, "Skip this one. This is a weird one." And I'm like, "All right, skip. Go to the next one." But yeah, that's true. But yeah, but there's any music that kind of enhances the mood. Like if you sit down and be like I always need to listen to something that would cheer me up, or something that would like motivate you or get you out of a funk if you're in a funk. Any particular genre or anything, you guys? Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, specifically us. I mean, I don't know. Depends if you're wanting to get out of that funk or not. Sometimes, just chilling with some like lo-fi stuff is great. Just to vibe with it for a while.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to everything from math rock is like one of my favorite things ever in the world. We're gonna go back to like Fall of Troy days, or I even like Seosin or Circa Survive, Coit and Cambria, all that stuff. I love them. So much fun.
I haven't heard of them for so long.
They're so fun. I love it.
I met them once at Comic-Con. Yeah, he was the guy, because he does like a graphic novel too.
He does. And like their entire band is based off of a comic, and it's not in a sense.
Yes, I got a picture and signed the novel. I gave it to my friend Purpose, because he's a big Coit and Cambria fan, so I sent it to him, and he saw the pictures, like, "It's the greatest thing ever. You get to see him, and you're standing 5 feet away and get a signature." Yes. Faye, what is your song go-to for getting you out of a funk?
I think you have the wrong idea about me here. I'm one of those people that when I'm sad, I put on sad music.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because if I am sad and I'm listening to happy music, I just get annoyed that there are people who are happy while I'm sad.
Oh, there you go.
I want to feel like there are people who understand how I feel right now, so I put on music that matches the mood.
Yeah.
That's always that too. Yeah.
Sometimes you just need that. Like a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to feel it instead of just like pushing it away sometimes.
Yeah.
Like actually, more than often, it's better to do that.
And then random question: do you guys still have? Because I think I still have my it's somewhere. I have no idea where it is now. But the little portable music devices, like for iPod, it was like some other device for the Microsoft. Did you guys ever have one of those? Zune, yes, it was Zune. Yeah.
Those were not after iPods. Those were pretty simultaneous.
Yeah, well, I meant the same time. Yeah, there's something. Yeah.
Yeah. I never owned one to begin with, but I had a friend who had one. I don't know if she still has. She probably doesn't have it anymore though. She's moved like 7 times since then.
True. Okay, did you ever? Okay. Sorry.
The first MP3 device I ever had was a Rio. You are gonna be hard pressed to find that if you look online. It was I had won it in a contest, and it held 64 megabytes of data.
Whoa! Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was so young, and I could fit an entire album onto it. It was great.
Man, those days, man. These kids these days don't understand. It's like your phone now can hold like over like 800 songs. Then we were restricted to like 64 megabytes or 126 megabytes, and just whatever you could fit on your Zune or your iPod. But those were the days, man. But yeah, digital age now, right? Like everyone now, cloud-based Spotify. Your phone can hold 1 million songs, access them. If you have data, it's such an age where we're like away from like physical forms of how music is sad. That is true. Alright, moving on to the segment. Hey, what is your AMA question for the day?
Okay, so I actually did my homework for once. And I knew what to ask, and then you stole my question. But, So, I like horror games, and I know Waka likes horror games.
Oh, yeah.
I think Ty
I do.
dabbles in
I dabble in horror games, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to know what your favorite horror games are and why. Even if it's just, I only like it because this one scene. Like, you have to explain it.
Okay.
Okay. Go, Waka, you go first.
Okay. I will say the horror game that got me into horror games. Silent Hill 2. So that was the first horror game I had ever played. It was amazing. Ever since then, I loved all Silent Hill games. Well, except for a couple, but there was Silent Hill 2 and 3 were my jam back in the day. I don't know if
I like how you could hear the moment there where he remembered that there was some that existed because he blocked it out so much.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, there's a couple the higher number ones you just don't want to pay attention to too much. As well as I guess some of the newer stuff coming out now that.
Is there a newer one, right?
Yeah, Kojima's no longer working with it. That was one of the most tragic things ever. Was the whole PT scenario. If you remember that, Ty.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that too.
Yeah, it was so hype. And
was there a scene of Silent Hill? Because Faye was asking for a scene.
So yes, I don't know if you've played Silent Hill games, maybe specifically 2 or 3 back in the day, but towards the end of one of the games, there is a scene in a bathroom with a giant wall mirror. It takes up the entire wall. You go into this bathroom, and your character... You probably have to watch the scene on YouTube at some point, because now if you look at it, you're kind of like, whatever, that's not that crazy. But back in the day, playing it on like the PlayStation 2, it was... you go into this room, and there's a wall, a mirror, that takes up the entire wall. It completely mirrors you 100%. So it's the only mirror in the entire game that works, basically.
Okay.
So you go in there, and you start walking around, and it's just... that's all you see. There's some sinks and stuff like that, nothing else crazy. You try to go back out the door and it's locked. After you walk around this room, you're trying to figure out how to get back out of this room, and because it's locked and you can't get out. You look at the mirror, and your character on the mirror stops moving along with you. You give it a little bit of time, and all these like blood, like tentacle things start coming out of the ground towards you like roots. Towards your mirror, in the person in the mirror. And so the entire bathroom in the mirror fills up with these blood roots that then go up to your character and just engulf your character in the mirror. And as soon as it does that, a couple of seconds later, they start coming out of your character through the mirror into your room and start filling up your room. And that was like one of the creepiest things ever back then when I was a kid playing it. And that stuck with me ever since. And it's one of the coolest scenes ever in a horror game. It doesn't hold up, of course, over time, but going through the process of like playing games like that back then, just going through the atmosphere of the entire game leads up to that, and it was really cool. And back then, of course, never seen something like that in a game, and it was creepy as hell back then.
To be fair, and I only can say this confidently because it's like a running gag on my channel. So many horror games don't have functioning mirrors, so that scene would still freak me out because so many horror games just choose to not even have the mirror function. And at least I'll give some of them credit. Some of them explain it away.
Yeah,
like they do something that makes it in world make sense that the mirror doesn't work. But if I saw a functioning mirror, my first response would just be joy that a mirror is functioning, and then if they fucked with that afterwards, I would think I'd get freaked out still.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So
let's see. Alright, so I'm trying to go my knowledge of games I play that are horror based, but the one that sticks out is probably the original Alan Wake. So I think just the concept of the flashlight, and then it's encountering the first, like possessed one, and just shining the flashlight and just running to the big spotlight just to be safe and worry about being chased. But then the scene that stuck out to me the most was like, I think it was the the one there's like the big rock scene where it's like on the stage where they play the big song and like it's just the rock playing and you were like, hey, it's coming left, coming to the right, shining the light, and like
the barn.
The barn, and you have to restart it. That was like the standout, and I think just the concept of that kind of particular game and just like the light being the friend, the safe spot, and the darkness being where everything bad happened was like what kind of enticed me about horror story games for a good occasional scare once in a while. But Alan Wake, the original version, 'cause I never really got into. I watched people play Silent Hill and Resident Evil, but me playing myself was like, hell no, that game's a little out there for me to be scared. So, but I definitely like that, and like some other games I played since then was like, but yeah, Alan Wake sticks out mostly as one of the fave.
I love it. Alan Wake is an amazing game. I just recently played Alan Wake 2, the second it came out.
Yeah, it's probably the same game out together.
I absolutely loved
Please
it.
don't spoil.
Okay, I won't spoil it. But it builds upon the first game in a very good way. There's a lot more in the second game that is just a building of the first game, and it absolutely is insanely good. If you haven't played Control yet, I recommend that game as well. It's made by the same developers.
Oh yeah, I play Control. That's probably why I like Alan Wake too.
They are in the same universe.
Yeah.
I played Control. It's a good game.
Oh yeah. So Control takes place in between Alan Wake 1 and Alan Wake 2, and there's don't play American Nightmare. It's no longer canon. They uncanonized that DLC for the first game because they're like, it's just a dream. Don't look at us. It literally it breaks any story between the two games. But Alan Wake, Control, they're all based off of SCP universe, which is just insane, and it's so good.
Nice.
That's what I should have asked.
Well, go ahead. You can too. What was that? Ask away.
I should have asked what's your favorite SCP.
SCP-096.
Which one is that? You have
Shy
to describe
Guy.
it.
It is a entity that if you look at it or a picture of it, it will find you anywhere in the universe and kill you.
Oh, right. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember them by their numbers or their names. I just remember the descriptions because, as we have established earlier in this podcast, my memory is trash.
Never, Faye.
I can't tell you what the name or number of my favorite one is, but my favorite one is the lake that tries to lure you into the lake to kill you. It's the one that's you do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Okay. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, so like the lake is semi-sentient and it will like create a hallucination for people. So it like reads your mind and finds the people that you care about in your head, like your memory of them. And then it makes a recreation, like a hallucination of their bodies floating in the water.
It sounds very similar to Alan Wake.
To try to lure you, to try to lure you to come into the water to save the people you love, and then it kills you.
Yep.
Wait, is there, because I see Waka's last game he played was SCP. Is there like a game series that I should at least look into?
It depends, yeah.
Yes and no. So the SCP Foundation is like a open thing that people just add to, and it's all free. And like part of the rule of using anything that's specifically SCP is you have to make it free. So there's no like licensing or anything like that, and that means there's no official game series. So you have things that are like loosely based on SCPs that are nod to it, but never will say SCP because they want to make money, which is why like Alan Wake and Control, but there are SCPs games on Steam that you can buy that are using actual SCPs as the monsters or the creatures in the games that are free on Steam. And if it says it's an SCP game, it has to be free. That's like the rule of being allowed to use the name.
It's a whole open source like library of entities that people add to. They upvote stuff. It's really cool. It's you can go on there and read pages upon pages of a single entity on there, and it's the whole backstory. People people will create entire stories that they post on there based off of an SCP. It's
and
hundreds and thousands of them.
Things have gotten taken down because like if you're going to submit an SCP, you have to have a picture that's associated with it. You have to have like a background lore associated with it, and there's another rule that I don't remember off the top of my head, but those two are the specific important things. There are SCPs that have been taken down because mostly the picture, they find out that it's somebody's copyrighted work.
Mm-hmm.
They'll find out like later, like the very first SCP that was ever submitted that actually happened to it, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, 5 at the most. It has been officially taken down. It is no longer considered an SCP. It's not, you're not allowed to use it anymore because the image that was used was of a sculpture that was done by a particular artist. And the artist was making no money off of their own artwork because of it's associated with SCPs, because their artwork was getting a bad reputation by the association. So once the people who ran the SCP stuff realized what was happening, you know, because like I guess he contacted them or something, they were just like, "Yep, nope, down."
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It's a rabbit hole to go down that you could spend thousands of hours trying to dig through everything because it's a lot of stuff, and it's been around since like the early 2000s. Like it's been around.
Wow. Okay. Let's take a look. Faye, we got to know yours though. What is yours that got you into
favorite
it?
video game?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, favorite horror game.
My favorite horror game is Fatal Frame 2, and neither of you two should be surprised by that.
No.
I genuinely believe that was like the peak of the gaming industry because they put so much care into the tiniest things, and nobody, like, I know that most people don't notice it, but the fact that it's there is just, it feels so good. When this is a PS2 game, this was an early PS2 game. Like the original Fatal Frame was really, really early PS2, but they both have these same features. When your character's walking up a set of stairs, they animate it so that your steps are on the step. There's none of that like gliding up thing. No, like they match step for step. And the characters have different walks. So like, because sometimes you'll switch between different characters as you're playing through the game to be able to tell the story. So you'll have one character who like walks down step by step, very even toned, and then like another character might kind of almost skip down the steps. You know, like teenage girl, and it shows like different personality, and it just feels good. The flashlight you can move it independently of the camera. So like if you want to look up and you want the girl to look up, your flashlight goes up to where you're looking. It's not just a fixed circle on the wall. If there's like a curtain hanging and your character walks through it, the curtain like gets hung on their face for a second and then drops behind them, like has actual movement to it. And like nowadays, if you had a curtain in a game, your character would just phase through it and it wouldn't move, and your flashlight is either fixed or it is directly connected to your camera, where like it is two separate things. In Fatal Frame, I can move my camera around my girl and move my flashlight separately from it, which is really good for when you're like trying to find like hidden items and things like that. Just a lot of tiny details.
Wait, why not the first Fatal Frame though? It's curious.
Okay, so it being a little older, it has some flaws, and also like I played it originally in English because English was the only option available to me, and the first one's English is laughably bad, and they did that on purpose. It has been confirmed. They did it on purpose because back then Americans were considered this was the view for a lot of Japanese companies. We were considered not very good gamers, and we were considered cowards. So they told the voice actors to purposefully do a bad job because they thought the game would be too scary if they didn't. But it kind of takes you out of it because like sometimes it's real bad. Also, there was a glitch that would happen sometimes in the original one where you wouldn't actually be able to see the ghosts, which like now just is like playing on hard mode, but it's annoying at times because you don't see where the attacks are coming from, but you're supposed to be able to. Like it's not supposed to be hidden.
Yeah, true.
And there's a couple other glitches. I think the worst one is in the final boss. You can actually you can actually end up not being able to finish the game because your game, when you try to pull up the camera, will just crash.
Okay.
And I've had that happen to me multiple times. And it's kind of just like a 50, because if it happens at all during the run, the whole run is corrupted. But you don't know that your run is corrupted. You don't know you have the glitch until you get to the last boss. It's not like if I go to an earlier save. No, it's been there since you started the new game. You would have to start a new game and then run it again. So that's why not the first one. Also, I just think that the second one, they found their stride a bit better. The first one's the story, if you get past the voice acting, very solid. Like, very good. There's just a couple areas where, like, I wish you'd have gotten more info. And in the second game, they did such a good job where if you're one of those players who really explores everything, also the atmosphere in these games is like one of the best horror atmospheres I have ever seen in gaming. Like, they make it generally creepy and eerie and just feels heavy without the heavy-handedness of, like, they're not, like, dripping blood from the walls or, like, doing I'm gonna slowly have the music crescendo and then just drop off and nothing. Like, they don't do any of those tricks. It's just with what you know and the dilapidatedness of the area, you just feel like I am not safe.
Atmosphere building is one of the most difficult things ever in a game,
and they got it.
It's amazing. Like, it needs to be that way because jump scares are cheap. Like, a good jump scare is great, but only if you have a good atmosphere first.
Makes sense.
And there's two things that I think make horror games, and that is atmosphere and actually audio is actually one of the biggest things in horror. There are some very creepy movies out there that rely on both of those things. I don't know if you've seen it. It's Ganjam Haunted Asylum. It is a Korean horror movie that came out like maybe 3 years ago. It's the closest thing I can relate it to is it's kind of like Phasmophobia. So it's a bunch of kids, like early 20s, late teens, go to a haunted asylum live on basically Twitch. So they're live streaming this Twitch thing, and the audio in that movie is one of the most unsettling things I've ever listened to. But basically, just think Phasmophobia live
you've mismanaged your stuff. Because the amount of times that I have played through this game, and at the end of it, I have just been overstocked on everything. Like, you can absolutely get through this game and fight everything if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they, like, any sounds that you hear, it's like the creaking of floorboards as your character's walking through this old Japanese-style house, the sliding doors sounds, and there's, like, a subtle music, but it's you know, it's like eerie chanting, which is like can be pretty, but not in this context. You know, things like that.
It adds to the subconscious nature of the atmosphere. Yeah, it's great. Sometimes you don't realize it's there, but you definitely realize it when it's not.
Yeah. But yeah. My favorite thing, though, overall, is, like I said, the way that they pull the story together. Because if you are, like, you can play through the game and not explore much and get, like, the overall main story, like, and it'll make sense. But if you explore and, like, really explore every room, there are all these little journals, and some of them they make very obvious because there's like a blue glow. Some of them are like hidden in a drawer under a thing, so you don't see the glow, so you gotta go like dig in the drawer. If you find all the journals, you find out the lives of all these ghosts, because every ghost you're encountering was a person who lived in this village. They had a life, they did something, and every single one of them has a journal. So you can learn about the days leading up to the event that killed off everybody. So you can find out, like, who they were and how things got where they are. And then every time you come against that ghost, you know, oh, that's, you know, like, there's a ghost that always comes out of a box and she walks real weird and it's kind of creepy. It's like almost how you feel like the Grudge girl would walk at you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you find her journal and you find out that, like, she was just your average girl, and this, like, calamity event started happening, and she goes and she hides in a kimono box because she thinks it's gonna save her, and then she gets trapped in the box and her body started cramping up, and she's, like, crying for somebody to help, like, to get her out, and that's where she died. And you're like, oh no. And every time you find her, you're like, I'm so sorry. And all of them are, like, interconnected, and that's why they're all still stuck.
I think it's the recommendation you gave me a while back. I need to look into it again.
I tell everybody to play Fatal Frame. Everybody should play Fatal Frame. You should play Fatal Frames 1, 2, and 3. The rest of them are garbage.
Oh, there you go. Let's hear it first.
And I can say that because I have now played all of them. I have tried. I have given them all a fair shake. 1, 2, and 3 are great. Everything beyond that sucks.
Gotcha. Alright, time flies. We're going to move on to the next topic. So, in recent Netflix premiere, I don't know if you guys are familiar, because Avatar: The Last Airbender was my childhood cartoon. Faye's shaking her head no already. Waka, please tell me you know of Avatar: The Last Airbender from Nickelodeon.
I mean, I know of it. I actually never. I've watched Korra.
Yes, Korra. Korra would be good segue though.
But
Korra, yes.
I have not watched the original.
Okay.
Oh crap! Is it Lang?
Aang,
not Lang. Aang.
Yeah. I eventually misunderstood my shaking of my head.
Oh wait. So wait. Why were you shaking your head then?
I was a huge fan of the cartoon. I'm shaking my head because I knew where you were going with the Netflix thing, and I'm like, no, it doesn't exist.
Why doesn't it exist? They did another adaptation, yeah.
Like, okay, I can go over adaptions, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, okay. But yeah, it was an adaptation. Of course, you know, they did Avatar: The Last Airbender. They whitewashed that entire movie, the original one, because all the characters were white. I feel like they did a good job. Did you watch it, Faye? You're shaking your head like it doesn't exist. Like, did you actually even give it a shot?
I watched one episode and said, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh, there. Well, like...
I'll say this. They did a great job at casting this time, or at least significantly better. And that's, like, the only thing they got right.
Okay. Well, in terms of... For you, okay. So I definitely, like, loved it. It was a good, like... I binged the whole, you know, book series. There is stuff they left out of that original. So, like, some of those people who are listening, you haven't watched Avatar, not very spoilery, but they separated to 2 or 3 books, I think. 3 or 4, I can't remember. But the first book encompasses the first season of this show, and they had a lot to kind of jam in there. But they got some of some of the story points from it. But then Avatar was my thing that came out recently. But just to kind of bring this into like a topic of discussion of live action movies based on things that were animated. One example was Transformers, because Transformers is a cartoon, and it went to live action at one point. So do you think is the way of it going to transfer Clifford the Big Red Dog has also gotten a live action treatment? I've never seen it, so I can't really say much on it. But is this something that you guys like to bring back? I guess from our standpoint as people that have watched the animated series at that point to see it in live action, but for kids these days probably like what is this? It's new to them. Like anything that you want to see that is a cartoon as a live action. I have one example that probably you guys wouldn't expect, but what are your guys' thoughts? Have you seen one that you want to see live action?
I have been so disappointed by pretty much every live action adaptation, be it from a cartoon or from a book or anything like that in the past 8 to 10 years. And I really just would like them to stop touching anything.
Stop touching.
Because the period where there was like a couple here and there that were at least somewhat good.
Okay.
That I was like, okay, like you got the spirit of it. But like I feel like we passed that. Like they made the Lord of the Rings, it was great, and then they thought they could just print money by making. No, stop. Y'all aren't putting the money and the skill into making these things anymore, because they were like, well, if we cut out all of this stuff, we'll make more profit. So they're not putting any of the resources into making these things good anymore, so they just need to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a few that came out recently, last 5 or 6 years, that I really did not like. For anime, let's just say Death Note. There has been multiple Death Note live actions. They have been absolutely horrible. Like, literally unwatchable.
All of the Disney ones, for the most part.
The Disney ones, okay, yeah. Aladdin. There was parts about it I liked, but... and again, the problem is...
much kinder than I am.
They're not made... They're not made for us. That's the problem, is they're made for the new generation.
New generation.
But unfortunately, we watch these shows as a kid, these movies, and we have to, when we look at them, we're looking at them through like a fan service eye, and like these were made for us, and we want the new ones to be just as good.
I actually disagree. I kind of disagree with your assumption that they're making them for the new generation. I don't think that's the case. I think they're doing some weird amalgamation where they're they want it to appear like it's for the kids, but it's supposed to be for us, but then they also want to just do something different. And I think it's more than anything, I think most of these things are, I had an idea that I think would be cool, but I know no one's going to watch my new idea, so I'm going to steal this beloved name and just slap it on my idea.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, is, maybe the parents who watched it as kids will take their kids to this one because they remembered it from back in the day.
Yeah, they're banking on the parents having nostalgia to get them into the seat, but it's like...
Exactly.
But it's not made for anybody other than the producer's fucking ego. That's who it's made
for. Correct.
Let's be honest.
There's some good ones that, like, okay, we're going to go way back into the day. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I remember that.
That was a live action adaptation of the cartoon from the 80s, and they used animatronics for everything. It was really cool.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Recently, I actually just started watching the One Punch Man. Sorry, not One Punch Man. My brain. Sorry, I just died for a second there. One Piece. One Piece.
Yes.
So
One Piece.
One Piece. Yeah. The One Piece live action is freaking fantastic. And I don't know why this one can be so fantastic and not all the rest of them that they've been trying to do. Because it is, I've never seen an adaptation this close to what they need to do.
I haven't seen the One Piece anime or its live action, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but I've had friends who have seen both. And one of the things that they have mentioned is that it feels like they let the cast just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, my understanding of One Piece is that while it covers some serious topics, it's not a serious anime.
Correct.
And they didn't try to make the live action serious, which I've noticed that's the thing that they always try to do. They try to make the live action, like, grittier, more grounded, more serious than whatever cartoon it was based off of.
Oh, yeah.
And what I've heard about One Piece is that they knew what they were, and they let it be that, and they let people just have fun on set.
Oh, absolutely. And that definitely comes through. That definitely comes through.
Well, I have one that might also age me. I always say it a long time because I'm pretty old. But do you guys remember Thundercats by chance?
Yeah.
As a cartoon?
When I was big.
Oh, yeah.
But I could see that as a live action. I mean, definitely would see that adaptation to see if they actually would do it. The other one that sticks out that I want to see, and it's possible now with CGI and everything. Do you guys ever remember Robotech by chance?
No. What's
okay,
that?
so Robotech was about these aliens that were like 50 feet tall, but then and interesting enough, it was based like in the distant future in the 1980s, but 1999. Too fast. But there's Zentradi, Macross, but then there was like it's based on Japan animation that they adapted to America, which they dub all the voices. But planes that were turned into mechanized robots to fight these aliens that also were 50 feet tall and flying, like also mechanized. But the Zentradi were like a warlike species, so they only need war. But there's like a mantra of like where they came from, who was so like a lot of like schema, or there was a lot of not schema, but there's a lot of like backstory to the whole thing, and it was like it was based on like this little kid that was like a show pilot that kind of stumbled into a plane that turned into a robot, and no one knew about it. But yeah, Robotech. Here, let me find it real quick to it, because it was an 80s cartoon, but it's been like one of those things where they had rights to possibly adapt it into a live action, but they have never. So there's many cartoons, many adaptations, but the funny part about it is literally it was oops, I opened something that did something to my screen. I did. 1 second. Close this. Oh, it shouldn't affect you guys. But yeah, it was essentially three animes that they kind of pasted together into a long-running series. So once you reach the end of Robotech, so like 3 different series from Japan, but then they just rolled it back. It's like, start the beginning again. We have no more series to go to. But yeah, Robotech was a 1980s series, and it would probably date me to some people, but that one I see live action. But from watching Transformers, when I first saw the live action of that one too, I was like, the car changed it into Optimus Prime. That was caught my heart, because like Transformers back in the day, it's one of those also cartoons I woke up very early to watch before everything and going to school and such, because it was like the cartoon of the time. But yeah, but what about, do you guys remember the live action Flintstones?
The movie. Yeah, there was a movie, wasn't there?
There was a movie.
I remember Halle Berry was in it.
Halle Berry was in it. Let me look at it again. Who was in it?
Was it John Goodman?
Yeah.
It was
John Goodman was in there.
Halle Berry. It was one of the
Rosie O'Donnell.
Not a fan. It was one of the oh my god, it's the brothers that there's like the 3 brothers that are actors back in the day. Who played oh my gosh, I can't remember their names now.
Rick Moranis? No.
Yeah. I love Rick Moranis though. He's cool.
But yeah. But that was one of the ones that like was very classic, even was Casper. I mean, Casper I feel like was a good adaptation.
I've seen Casper.
Casper was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, like, I feel like there's a note, like, we're talking about all these old adaptations, and I would just like to point out, like, if I watch an old adaptation and then compare it to the new adaptations that have been coming out, everything, even though the other movie might be 10, 15 years older, everything in it looks better. It's got,
True.
like, Casper, like, the ghost Casper looks better than most CGI that's coming out now.
Oh, damn.
Like, the makeup, hair and wigs, everything. Like, you can tell they were putting money into those details. And if you can't tell, I am a detail-oriented person. If I spot something out of whack, it throws me for a loop.
Right.
And it will color my entire... Like, one of the reasons I can't stand the Avatar Netflix thing is because the wigs look so goddamn awful. It is so obvious that they are bad wigs. And it takes me out of anything, because I'm just like, wow, y'all couldn't put money into this? Like, I know you have the money for it, you're Netflix. But, yeah, like, they just don't put the money into it. And that, like, I'm not sure if y'all know this, but you know the reason why they killed the Disney killed the animation part of their stuff and went to the 3D whatever computer stuff, is because they could get away with not paying the 3D animators, because the traditional animators were unionized and they had to pay them, and they didn't have to pay these people, and CGI people also don't have a union right now, and so the companies keep fucking them over all the time, and that's why your CGI looks like crap.
Yeah.
So, like, it's bad, and I don't want to support them on principle. Pay your fucking people.
There you go. Alright, and with that segue, we go to the next topic. Waka, do you have an AMA question?
No, I guess I don't.
Okay.
You've had the whole show,
You had the whole show, we left you the last. That's funny. Alright, well, let's see. We'll go to the phase infatuation, then we can come back and give you a couple minutes to think about it. Alright. Hey, what is your segment today? What are we...
I mentioned it earlier. Hazbin Hotel. Oh my god. Why have you not watched it yet?
Okay, give us the non-spoilerly, what is this?
Okay, so things you'll find out within the first, 5 minutes. Obviously, well, I guess not so obvious from the title. It's set in hell. So everybody that's there, you already know going forward, is dead and probably not a great person. Okay? And Lucifer's daughter, so the Princess of Hell, has decided that she wants to fix the overpopulation problem of hell by creating a place to basically rehabilitate them, to try to get them to be able to ascend to heaven, because once a year angels are coming down from heaven and exterminating a bunch of her people, basically. So she's like, well, I don't like this, so let's... And that's the whole premise, is you're trying to rehabilitate the sinners.
Oh, okay.
And her efforts to do that, and the things that arise, and I like it because it comes from a place of the whole the message of the show is everybody, regardless of what they've done, can be redeemed, provided they want to be redeemed and put in the effort.
Wow, okay.
And so, the people who want redemption in the show, they have to come to the hotel, because that's where she's... It's a whole little punny thing, you check into Hazbin Hotel, and when you check out, you're checking out to go to heaven. It's supposed to be the whole idea.
Ah, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it is so charming. The music is way better than it really has any right to be.
That's awesome.
It's... I can't even give it a
describe
genre.
the music? They can't give genre?
I can't give it a genre because they actually it's hell, right? So people died at different times, and the music that plays or that the characters sing, because it's a kind of a musical cartoon, so there's people just break out into song occasionally.
Okay.
But the music changes depending on the character. So there's one character, their name is Angel Dust. They died in the 90s, So their music is more like pop.
Oh, okay.
90s pop music. Then there's Alistair. He died in the 30s. He's like, his music's kind of like jazzy.
Okay.
So like you get a few different genres. Some of these songs, there's one in particular, and I can't tell you anything about it because of spoilers, but there was a song that I had to stop. When I was watching it the first time, I had to pause and step away because I started to fucking cry.
What? Okay.
Oh my god. Also, I fell in love with the voice. Like,
Is it on?
It's on
Is it
Amazon.
on? Oh, it's on Amazon. Okay.
Amazon Prime. I think there's like 10 episodes,
Okay.
maybe like 12.
Oh, nice.
Not a ton of episodes.
Huh.
But yeah, just I think there's only like 2 songs through the whole series that I'm just like, eh. Like, they're not bad, they're just eh.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
the rest of the songs, I'm just like on repeat in my car.
That's awesome.
There you go. There you go.
The characters are great. Even the ones like I will say this. One thing I've noticed, because, you know, TikTok somehow got my number and knows exactly what I'm into, so they started popping up the has-been hotel stuff, even though I never searched it. One thing I've noticed because of the show is people don't have media literacy skills anymore. There is a specific character that so many people I see saying like, oh, they're not a good character, they're a poorly written character, and I'm just like, you have missed the point. They are a fantastically developed character. They are great. You're not supposed to like them. You are supposed to hate this guy.
Okay.
Like, if you like him, there is something wrong with you mentally. Go to therapy.
Yeah.
But, like, they don't get that, and they just think, oh, it's a bad character. And I'm just like, y'all don't. Y'all have, like, they only are able to see, like, surface level, and they're not able to, like, read anything under.
Mhm.
And it makes me a bit sad at times. So, please, if you go into the show, try to think of things on a deeper level. Most things have layers in this show.
Okay. Just because I looked it up, it's an anime, so is it geared towards any particular age group though? I'm just curious.
Adults.
Adults,
Definitely 18 plus.
Okay, making sure.
18 plus.
Making sure, just making sure.
Children watch the show.
I was making sure. I was just looking at the animation drawing. I was like, is this an adult show? But yeah.
The show has copious amounts of drugs, sex, and murder, and cussing.
I'm in. All right.
It's set in hell, an accurate representation of hell. Do not let your children watch this.
There you go. Oh yeah,
I've been a fan of this project since the pilot first dropped on YouTube back in 2019.
Oh, that's awesome.
I saw the pilot within a couple months of it coming out, and then like the pilot just ended on a like we'll be back kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And then I heard nothing about it, and then it just like dropped randomly like earlier this month, and I'm like,
Yes, please.
what? You did what now?
Wait, so they dropped. Wait, so the YouTube pilot. So this is recent. So they just dropped it like how long ago?
I don't know exactly when it came out. I might have actually found it a little bit later. It definitely dropped sometime in 2024 though.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
gotcha.
January at the earliest. I found it at the beginning of February.
Gotcha.
So
Alright.
it might have been out for like a week or two before I found it, but it hadn't been out long.
You're there first chat. Check that out. Hasbin Hotel. Go to Face streaming and talk to her about it.
Yes, do. I have things to talk about.
There you go. Alright. So does that conclude what you're hyperfixated at the moment?
Pretty much, because I can't go into detail because you guys haven't seen it.
There you go. Alright, round back to Waka. AMA question to kind of finish us off here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm super hyper focused on working on music stuff currently. I have, I mean, for the last year and a half, I've been working on an album to get something out right now. But I want to know, like, what your guys do you guys have any creative outlets that you have besides like streaming or anything that most people might not know about?
There you go first.
I'm thinking.
I guess everyone knows Faye does a lot of
Yeah, I feel like I've already I kind of already talk about all my creative outlets. Like I show my knitting progress whenever I have progress updates on it on stream. Yeah. I talk about crochet stuff. I haven't done any crochet in a while, so I haven't shown anything, but like I've talked about projects and things. I went on a whole rant about AI the other day.
Yep. I mean,
I don't really. Yeah, I don't. I think
along those lines, yeah. Is there any like creative outlet you thought about doing that you just haven't done yet?
I want to learn how to sew. I have a sewing machine and a table that I just need to set up. I'm so fucking terrible. I need to rearrange the space so that there's room for the sewing table. And I'm just always so fucking tired, so it hasn't gotten done.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling.
I kind of like to learn guitar, but I don't own one, so like that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Because I don't know how to play any instruments. I sing okay, but I would like a musical outlet if I could.
Yeah, I think Faye would be embarrassed if I like the stuff you sent me a long time ago.
Oh God.
Oh no.
I mean, I tried to audition. So if you're on TikTok, you might have, if you're a nerd on TikTok, you might have heard this musical that somebody's making called Epic, and it's like an Odyssey musical, and there was like he was doing an open call for different parts, and there was one part that I wanted to audition for, and I asked for Waka's help because the guy said that we could change the key, and it was like just like a little bit out of my range what it currently was. So Waka like used his fancy music stuff that he has on his side to help change the key, and then I sent it back to Waka with me trying to sing the things. And I'll be honest, Waka, you can be very, very disappointed in me. I never actually sent in those audition songs because I chickened out. But I made like 5 different versions and I sent them to Waka, and Waka's like, I like these 2. And I was like, okay. And then I sat on them forever and didn't ever send it because I'm a coward.
Well, you're at the NPC. What do you think?
Yeah.
Comes back to that again, better. Besides the podcast, I don't know. I just started this, I think, only until Faye's like, record them and post them, because like I was just doing them on stream. So Faye told me to start that, so I started doing that. So that's why there's like a short gap between like the first couple of series episodes of season 1 to like near the end. But then, I think this is kind of a creative outlet for now. It's just kind of like getting like 3 random people together just to have conversations and talk. And usually I feel it's interesting because like the topics of discussion sometimes tangent to different areas that I wasn't expecting. So it has been evolved over the years now. It's been going on. Like we originally had 4 people that were in, so there was a lot of people talking, and it took forever to get through one guest. And then we'll go into like the wee hours of the morning where we're like 2 to 3 a.m. and then everyone's like, we're tired now, can we stop?
Oh yeah.
but like now it's more, as we've gone through it, now it's like it's gotten like more condensed down to average top 1 hour and a half. So it's not like a long stream where people get, inebriated with all this. Yeah. But then the thing I need to still kind of learn for going forward is to maybe edit these down, because I've been so lazy just like smishing the whole thing together and just posting it. So I want to start maybe going more into getting clips from certain parts of the topic so that it's more condensed and digestible, because sitting to watch like an hour and a half like video or listening to an hour and a half like long conversation might be fun for some people, but people attention spans like go down to like 2 to 3 minutes, and you have to like get the stuff. So that's kind of where I'm trying to head toward this eventually. One day I will sit down and try to tear a clip out, a part of it. I'm getting better with clips with streaming, so I need to kind of figure out a way to make it easy to grab clips from this audio segments and smush it into like smaller parts. So that's where I'm kind of at with my creative outlet. at the moment. So, but either that or getting more tattoos. I don't know. I really like getting. You can't see chat or audio people. I'm holding my arms up as like getting more creative of like where tattoos have been placed. And this one, the latest one, which is like from Tarkov, but it definitely don't get stuff tattooed in your elbow. It's so like it hurts like crazy in that area. But yeah, that's my other creative outlet.
I want to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
I need to save up to get one.
I was gonna say I have plans to get a forearm tattoo. That is all 4 waveforms in a row as a signature on my arm.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be sine wave, square, triangle, sawtooth, all in like a signature format in a long line on my forearm.
This is not your first one, is it?
Yes, actually.
Oh, it's the first one. Okay. I haven't seen you in person.
My question was going to be, right hand dominant. What do you think? Which arm would be the best forearm to get first forearm tattoo?
Your dominant arm.
Yeah.
I feel like Faye, do you have an opinion?
I mean, which side do you sleep on?
Oh,
I sleep on all sides.
Whatever side you sleep on, the opposite of that.
Side.
Yeah.
Well, it's only I prefer as much.
I consider this like maybe 60% dominant compared to my left arm. That's the problem. So.
Yeah. Well, the one thing when I first started my first tattoo was on my back and I never saw it until I looked in the mirror. I was like, oh yeah, the tattoo's back there. So like, I feel like whatever, like if you want to get used to seeing it every single day, your dominant arm, if you'd rather not see it as much than your less dominant arm, which is the other interpret.
There's a website, I think it's called Inkbox or something like that. They do like, I'm gonna call them semi-permanent tattoos. The ones where you like put the sticker on, you leave it on for like a while, you take it off, and then it like fades over the course of weeks. But it looks, while it's there, it looks like a legit one. You can, I think it's Inkbox, where you can like send them what you're thinking of getting, and they'll send you one to like trial run. Just order 2 copies, put it on each side, and see which one you like better.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be too. Faye needs to figure that out herself.
So no, I know what I want. I don't know how to find a tattoo artist.
Oh.
Because where I live now, I don't have friends. Like, if I lived back in San Antonio still, I had friends who had tattoos and of varying styles. So if I wanted like a specific style, I would know like, okay, for this style, I ask this friend, and for that style, I'd ask this friend. I don't have friends, especially the ones I do have here, don't have tattoos. Even when I lived in Georgia, I knew plenty of people who had tattoos, and I could just be like, hey, who do you recommend? I don't know, like, if you don't have friends who already have tattoos, how do you fucking find a tattoo artist who you know is gonna be good? Because that's the thing, everyone's like, look on their Instagram, and I'm like, I don't trust Instagram, because they're not gonna, first off, they only ever post, because I've looked at so many tattoo artists on Instagram, they only ever post, like, the day that they did it. No, I want to see what that tattoo is gonna look like 4 or 5 years from now. Which is why I liked my friends, because I could see which ones, like, hey, this person knows how to do really solid color work. This person knows how to do really great line work. Like, I had friends that their tattoos, they were like, yeah, when I'm getting the outlines done, I go to this artist. But when I'm going for the color, I go to this person, because they just, like, how do I find this shit?
The only thing is, like, wait, so you want to... Yeah, because every picture, you're right, it's pretty much the day of it's been done. So you don't see it from the
course it looks good.
Yeah, and they're only showing their best work. I mean,
exactly.
That is true too.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're a tattoo artist, I expect you've done at least 3 or 4 a day at minimum, depending on the size.
I'm trying to figure which one is the oldest on my arms, because there's the one on my back, but I can't really. Like, I have to send you a picture, but of what it looks like now. But man, these ones held up pretty well. Like, I think the oldest one on this one's probably this one, which is the Boba Fett, not Boba Fett, Mandalorian with Grogu outline. But they usually, I mean, that the artist is good, and like, they usually like stand the test of time. Don't look at my legs though. My legs always get so dry during the winter that the leg tattoos are always like, why are we down here? It's so like not moisturized at all. But yeah, I could see that being an issue for some people. Like, I go to
Yeah.
tattoo conventions and usually look at their artwork as is and then go from that. But you're right, if you don't know anyone.
If you only can show me the artwork like the day or like even within like the first like month, if that's all you can show me, I don't want it. I want to see your artwork years down the line.
Yeah.
Either like introduce me to somebody that you have tattooed so I can see it on them, or if you're a good tattoo artist, I assume that your people come back to you. Take a 1 year later, 3 years later, 5 years later pick, and if you're not doing that, I don't fucking trust you.
Absolutely.
And I know that a lot of them aren't because it's not the standard. I get that. It doesn't change my feelings on it. Because I feel like if you were really good at it and you really wanted people to trust you, especially people who don't have tattoos or are maybe new to the area, and you're wanting people to find you and to trust you just going forward, like just provide that. Why? Because everybody so far that I've talked to has been like, oh, well, you just find someone who like you like their Instagram, and then you go in and you get something small. Small tattoos are still expensive. A lot of these places have like a minimum sitting fee of like $75
or 100
or 100. Yeah, like depending on the area. Like some of these, like they have a minimum sitting fee. For something, like I don't have tattoos. I don't want the first one to be an experiment just to see if this person's okay. Because what if I end up hating it?
Yeah,
exactly. Like no, I want. Huh?
This one was like 100 sitting feet. Look how big it is.
Yeah, no. And why am I giving someone $75 to $100 for them to like?
True.
Almost trial run? Nah, I'm good, fam. Like that's. If it was like, if I could get something super tiny for like $20, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Materials. Oh yeah.
But even then, I have spent so long thinking about what I want. And Winter Night said, I understand the materials things. I do get it. I'm just saying I shouldn't have to pay that just for a trial. I should be able to see up front if I'm going to like the work. And if it's going to age the way that I want things to age. Because I know exactly what I want. I know where I want it. And I have put off for many years getting the tattoos that I wanted because of not being able to find someone who I thought could do the work the way that I want it done.
That's true. Oh wait,
I have two that I want.
I have a whole one right here. As you can see. I don't know if you see, it's a dragon that's on my shoulder. That was done by my cousin's boyfriend at the time, but it has stand the test of time. Like it's literally still like most vibrant one I have, and it's like the biggest one. That's
looks good.
Yeah, it does.
So definitely, yeah. But it is. You're right. It's just kind of like, do you trust this person? Is their artwork good?
Yeah.
Does it stand the test of time? So that definitely makes sense. Makes sense indeed. I've gotten the gambit, but what? This is just to bring the gambit up. Once you get one, you never stop. So you can see as I've continued on.
I don't know. Like people told me that about my piercings. They're like, oh, like once you start getting face piercings, you're just gonna keep going. And it's like, no. I went in one day. I got every piercing that I wanted, and I have had no impetus to go back. There's only one there was only one piercing that I wanted that I couldn't get because I wanted to get right here above my lip pierced, and I was told I couldn't do it because I have a short, like this area between my nose and my lips is very short, and my gum area is very short, so where it would have sat would have like been, I guess, rubbing on my teeth like this.
Okay.
So my piercer's like, he's like, could you find someone to do it? Probably. Do I recommend it? No, and I won't do it. And I trusted that man because I did research to find him. So if he said no, I just didn't do it. But yeah, I got all 9 piercings in one sitting.
Nice.
Gotcha. Oh, 9 piercings in one. What? Oh wow.
Oh yeah. He's like, are you sure you want to? I'm like, I'm good. Let's go. I have a really weird pain tolerance in that I don't feel pain like I'm supposed to. I one time had 2nd and 3rd degree burns on my body, and I was just like, I'm a little tender, but I'm good.
Wait, so out of curiosity, I'm just saying, where are these 9 piercings?
Mostly in the ears, so you can't see them. This one and this one. are the most visible. But when I got the top, I think it's called the helix. When I got the top of my ear done, he was like trying to like psych me up for. He's like, okay, like this one's gonna hurt because that was the first one of the painful ones that he did, and it literally just felt like being pinched.
Okay.
To me, and then he was like the same thing for this. He was all like, this one's gonna be the most painful one, and I'm like, I've literally had cramps that hurt worse than this.
Oh dang. All right. Well,
Yeah, I was like, let me just get them all at the same time.
Oh dang. Oh, interesting. All right. Well, we'll kind of wrap it up there. But Waka being a guest. Oh, can you guys actually hear this? Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's the studio audience. Thanks for the great podcast. So Waka, where do we find Waka? Where do you just plug yourself?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest place to find me is waka.wiki. Literally, that's the URL.
That's the URL.
It has all my links there. I make DMCA-free music. It's for streamers, content creators. Anyone can use it free of charge. Doesn't matter, as long as you don't put it behind a paywall.
No, I have to start looking, because I saw that the other day. I was like, I gotta start looking into this. But I will definitely look into it.
Yeah, I think we're sitting around 40-something tracks now. But that's gonna, as I keep saying it, as soon as I get time, I'm going to break that to immense amounts pretty quick. I have a lot of stuff I need to release.
Nice. All right, and then we do this last thing for the thing, and I kind of didn't really explain what is making you get his month for, like, your current obsession, which we already know what phase was, but like, so like anything that Walker that you've been doing that is your current like giddy, making you giddy at all, or
Giddy?
happy?
I don't actually mean I'm on a major health kick. Like I've been biking. I'm going to do this in kilometers because that's what my bike has on it. But I've been doing between 15 to 20 kilometers on the bike every single night. Walking, eating like 1,600 calories a day. It's been insane. So major, trying to, make sure I'm healthy as fuck. And that's been super nice for me. I guess that's my obsession right now.
Okay.
I got a full smartwatch for tracking everything, and I guess
I'm over here snacking on.
I know. As of 52 minutes ago, I'm on 16-hour fast.
Ooh, nice.
I've been doing that every day. It's yeah. I know.
Well, I know Faye is. Well, is anything besides Has Been Hotel? That's been your thing?
Well, that's the only happy obsession I've had this month.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's fine. I think.
I'm trying to think of other things. I mean, like everyone's obsessed with a bunch of things, right?
True.
And
the rest of mine aren't happy.
Now we're gonna see happy. I just watched Shin Godzilla.
Okay.
That was a 2016 Godzilla movie from Japan. It was insanely cool.
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay, well, the session was Avatar, because, like, I grew up on Avatar, so I watched everything from all the series, and, like, I hated the M. Night Shyamalan rendition, of course, the Compassion, but I feel like they did this pretty... I feel like, I mean, I know I wouldn't look at the wigs myself and, like, look and see how that is, but the casting was spot on, and the characters, even, was it Suki, the Koshi, like, I feel like they did that pretty well. I know some casting I'm questioning in there, but still, like, for terms of story-wise and the content and what they put into it, I feel like it's pretty good. So that's pretty much what I've been. So I suggest if you're a Waka, like, go take a watch and take a chance and see, or Waka if you want to see, but take a chance to walk on the Avatar: Last Airbender series. Other than that, I've been still. My other game I main usually is I'm not talking to my phone. The other game I usually main is Tarkov, so I've been playing that, and Tarkov's like an extraction shooter. I'm just like, level up, get the gear, go out, and then you constantly run into people that kill you. I mean, without no disregard, and just like, no, but it's just like, the stakes in that game for me is just like, get the stuff and level up your stuff, Sometimes you run into people, sometimes you can kill people, sometimes you don't. But extraction-based shooters, I feel like, are like, the hype of like going in and getting all the the items you can fill in your backpack, walking all the way out trying not to die, has been like my obsession recently too. So.
Tarkov is one of the most anxiety-inducing games I've ever played.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. I guess my obsession right now is trying to find horror games that will actually make me scream.
That's never gonna happen. No,
I'm,
you guys, chat, you don't know. This man might be a psychopath. I've seen him play Phasmophobia.
Hey, let's see. I'm still trying to get that under 5-minute speed run of the school in Phasmophobia. Solo. I'm at 5 minutes and 4 seconds.
This man plays Phasmophobia on the hardest difficulty solo.
Dang.
Like a psychopath.
Wow.
I am definitely not a psychopath, though.
I know it's a joke.
I know.
Because every time I come up with a Waka clip, though, literally it's like, just Waka's just like talking about what's going on, and it's literally like, it's not scaring him at all. He's like, what? But then, you know, it doesn't react.
And he doesn't react. I'm just like, I scream. I watch his stream and I scream. And he doesn't react.
I know.
Not fair. Not fair.
Exactly. Gotta find that one game that will scare Wakapedia. Go and suggest it to him, Chad, if you ever come to this page and be like, what play? Just clip button. We have the ability to watch a clip. So let me go grab it. I think I might have seen this one, but